This week, we're taking a look at how mortgage rates have impacted the housing market, and we answer the question, where are rates headed? So stay tuned. Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. Welcome to another weekly market update. I hope you've recovered from Lollapalooza and are ready to catch up on what's happening with the housing market. This week, we're taking a close look at how mortgage rates have impacted different aspects of the housing market, and we'll also be talking about where we believe mortgage rates will be headed through the end of the year and well into 2024. But before we get going here, I would love to know where you think mortgage rates are headed by the end of 2023, well into 2024. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. You know, with so many things going on with the economy right now, as well as in and around housing, I'm committed to bringing you weekly market updates because monthly just doesn't cut it anymore. Before we do get started, I want to let you know that this video discusses both national and local data. The local data we'll share in just a bit is for Chicago proper, the 77 areas. And although we do service all of Chicagoan, including the Burbs, later in this video, we're only going to dive into the city's data. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started with a fun fact, and we'll share some other info and insights with you before covering the city's numbers. Fun facts, market time. Single-family housing starts fell 8% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1.43 million in June, according to a joint report from the U.S. Census Bureau and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, as higher interest rates and supply chain challenges continue to impact home builders and slow construction activity. Despite the decline, however, single-family permits were up 2.2% month over month, the highest pace since June 2022, according to the report. And if you caught one of our recent market update videos from the last few weeks, we talked about how new construction varies greatly depending on what region you're in, with the South leading the pack, heads and shoulders above the rest. Be sure to check it out. Mortgage rates. What can I say about mortgage rates? There's so much importance given to mortgage rates. For some, it's do or die or just an absolute deal breaker. And I get it. With the rate you can qualify for, directly impacts your buying power. And you may want or need to be in a certain area. You may want or need to have a certain amount of bedrooms or square footage. With that said, please reach out and talk with me. Or talk with another realtor who has a great understanding of both local and national markets, the economy, the housing market overall, from all angles. This is a very unique market. Knowing the best coffee shops within blocks isn't a skill both buyers and sellers are going to benefit from these days. You need to be working with someone who knows the market and all the information that is crucial to the decisions you need to make for your situation, your household, and your short and long-term goals. But where was I? Yes, mortgage rates. Let us progress. We can't necessarily predict where mortgage rates are going. If I could, I'd buy a Powerball ticket. But what we can do is project based on historical trends, factual information, and the most recent data. Let's start off with a quote here. This is from Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American. You know, the fallacy of economic forecasting is don't ever try and forecast interest rates and or, more specifically, if you're a real estate economist, mortgage rates, because you will always invariably be wrong. The next couple of slides here show the impact on the housing market when rates have increased by 1% or more. I'm not saying the market goes down or prices get slashed, but we can see here a mixed bag of impact that increased mortgage rates have had. Focusing on the second column from the right for a moment, look at what has happened when mortgage rates have increased. Prices actually go up. Why would that happen? That doesn't make sense, right? If you listen to some of my other market updates, the example I've used is that you can either be the person with a storage room full of toilet paper, you can end up waiting in lines ready to clear out pallets at the local Costco or Sam's Club. So often, and this data is proof, the moment rates go up, people go into a frenzy. The same people who are putting off buying until the mortgage rates go down are likely to be the ones who will end up going into a panic mode. We need to buy now before rates get even higher. Then we end up with madness. Appraisal gap addendums, inspections waived, sellers getting way more than asking, driving up prices higher, buyers frustrated because they don't have a firstborn or Lamborghini to offer up, leading to the same frustrated buyers running back to the rental market, driving those prices up without bidding and overbidding. Do you see how it's all connected? Stop the madness. Stop to think what you and your household need. Gather information, facts, insight, and words of wisdom. Make sure you're not doing it alone. Talk to a professional like myself or another realtor who knows the market really well, and make the best decisions possible for both now and later. And just remember this, you can never, ever put a price tag on peace of mind. While buyers are waiting on the sidelines for prices to plummet and or rates to drop, which is where we seem to find many folks today, sellers might be sitting back and waiting to list as inventory gets tighter and demand increases, which more often than not makes prices go up. And we'll be touching on later in this video another fair reason why a lot of sellers may be staying put for right now. Now, looking at the last column, home sales have gone down whenever mortgage rates have increased by 1% and more. In fact, the change is even more dramatic than home prices. How many mortgage rates have mortgage rates impacted showings? Well, it hasn't necessarily hurt the amount of showings overall. Looking at this chart from showing time, it would appear that showings have been following the typical seasonal patterns. Less showings in the fall and winter, followed by increased showings after the new year as we approached and went to the spring market. Have mortgage rates impacted pending sales? Again, we see seasonality being a major factor according to this chart here. And as long as mortgage rates stay within the realm they are now, it's likely that so long as your home or property hits the market and is priced right, and sellers, I've talked about this many times before, price it right or become vulnerable immediately. There's a great chance you're going to receive an offer or offers, and in many markets will sell for close to, at, or even above asking price. Here in Chicago, we're certainly still seeing plenty of multiple bid situations, no doubt. Looking at this chart with data from CoreLogic and Freddie Mac, comparing home price trends to the ups and downs of mortgage rates, if you solely look at this chart, one might determine that home prices were directly, negatively, and dramatically impacted by increased mortgage rates. However, if you take this reality into consideration, those green bars that precede the red ones are a display of unhealthy appreciation. And that unhealthy appreciation caused depreciation. Starting this year, we're back to a more normal appreciation. Bottom line, mortgage rates did have an impact on prices. Was it direct or indirect? Well, we can certainly have several conversations and probably endless conversations about that topic alone, especially looking at things through different lenses. This chart from Fannie Mae is also showing a correction in the market in Q3 and Q4 of last year, when we were coming off that high from much of 2020, all of 2021, and the first couple of quarters of 22. And I do believe with little to no doubt that mortgage rates have certainly impacted inventory. Let's look at these next slides from Realtor.com. In this first couple of charts here is what we showed, I believe it was last week's market update. If you look at that dotted vertical line, that typically that point in May is where we reach our peak, and then things start to go down from there as far as new listings go. And that's just called seasonality. That's the market reacting to the season. People tend to buy more in the springtime and a little less throughout the rest of the year. So that's why the spring market is such an essential market when it comes to buying and selling real estate. So you see that black dot there on the red line. We were expecting the amount of listings to increase throughout the end of the year. And that, again, we're looking at 2022's projection. However, what ended up happening was listings dropped dramatically, even compared to the more normal years of 17, 18, and 19. And taking a look at what's been happening so far in 2023, ouch, way less inventory. We're actually down by 28.8% year over year through July of this year. So, time to face the fact. There's simply not enough inventory to meet the demand of buyers out there. There are plenty of buyers ready to go, without a doubt. I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing. There are first-time home buyers, buyers who are looking to sell and buy, buyers who are looking to rent out their current home and buy a new one, buyers who are looking to go the multi-generational route and purchase with relatives or even friends, or perhaps move into a multi-unit and become a landlord. And there are buyers out there who are looking to add to their investment portfolio. The amount of buyers is not an issue, even with the interest rates we have right now. The amount of inventory is. And to go further, the amount of quality inventory. What I mean by that? Something else I've talked about in recent videos in greater detail. Properties that are priced fairly in accordance with their current state and condition. Sellers, yes, I'm talking with you and not to you. Don't fool yourselves. If you wouldn't pay X amount of dollars for your home based on today's market standards and conditions, don't expect someone else to. With that said, let's take a look at a few slides that show practical reasons for sellers not jumping on board to bring more inventory to the market. And guess what? It's interest rates. Ding, ding, ding. Tell them what they want, Dom. So this chart here from FHFA is showing current loans with a mortgage rate at the time of origination. The vast majority of folks out there have a mortgage rate of 5% or less. In fact, there's only 9% of the households out there with a mortgage rate higher than 5%. And to make this reality even more painful, 70.7% of mortgage rates are less than 4%. Ouch. Why would somebody want to sell? Talk about that in a little bit. And we take a look at this pie chart. We can kind of break it down and get an idea of what people might be thinking out there. Lock-in rates, these lock-in rates, that less than 4% or even less than 5% is certainly limiting new inventory. So anybody with a mortgage rate of 3% or less is probably not going to be in that not selling category. Somebody with over 3 up to 4, probably not selling. Somebody over 4 up to 5, they're probably going to be thinking really hard before they sell. Someone with a 5% up to 6, probably going to be selling, and somebody with a 6 or higher, great chance that they'll be selling. Or at least I should say a much better chance that they'll be selling. And this statistic from Fly Homes, it says 76% of buyers who would need to sell their current home who say they're reluctant to sell in today's market because they prefer to keep their current rates. So again, not just our speculation. People surveyed are certainly confirming that suspicion. Zillow came out with this quote, and again, love them or hate them. They said, a new Zillow survey has identified the mortgage rate tipping point that makes homeowners more likely to move, which is key in unlocking the housing market and slowing price growth. Homeowners with a mortgage rate above 5% are nearly twice as likely to say that they plan to sell their home than those paying a rate below 5%. This chart from the quarterly survey of homeowner intentions and preferences, say that a few times, about 1 in 4 homeowners are considering selling within the next 3 years. And this includes homeowners with homes currently for sale. As of Q2 of this year, we're at 23%. And according to the census, 2 of the top reasons to sell, 66% cited a desire for an upgraded home with nicer features, and 45% said a growing family is influencing their decision to sell and move. Now, where are mortgage rates headed? Like I said at the top of the video, I'd be foolish to make that prediction. I can tell you is what is being projected by several sources. So the 3 sources we're going to be looking at are Fannie Mae, MBA, and NAR, National Association of Realtors. Some are certainly looking at this more of the glass half full scenario, but the average of all 3 by the end of Q4 of this year, we might be looking at around 6.25 through the first quarter of next year, 2024, just over 6, getting into the high 5s in Q2, and Q3 creeping down closer to right around 5.75. And I'll tell you right now, the moment that interest rates start to tick down, chances are it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a frenzy. And that's where I don't want you to find yourself. Because when you have to make decisions in a moment of panic, you're not making the best decisions possible. Even if you're not ready to buy right now, let's start having those conversations. Let's get ready to strike when the moment is right. But let's start having the conversations and start planning the goals, because those goals and deadlines that you're trying to meet will come up very, 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 very quickly. So let's at least have a plan of attack. Feel free to reach out, and please let's start talking. And again, it's not with me. Make sure that you're speaking with a realtor who knows the market, not just what's going on in the neighborhood, but who knows the housing market, both local, nationally, because everything is impacting each other. All the dots are connecting, and we need to have as much information possible to give you the right information to make the best decisions possible for you and your household. Bottom line, the housing market is still active. Is it all sprinkles and unicorns? No, far from it. And overall, I don't think we benefit from living in that type of fantasy land as a society or a species. In the land of make-believe is nice, but it ain't reality, life happens, life changes. People are still going to need to buy. People are still going to need to sell. Again, whatever situation you find yourself in, I'm here to help you and your household make the best and most informed decisions possible. Now it's time to wake up! For the moment you've all been waiting for. This information and data is provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors. It is current as of yesterday, August 7th, for week ending July 29th. From fun facts to quick facts, we're looking at year-over-year changes. New listings in the detached market, 25.5% down. Attached being condos and townhomes, down by 24.1%. Under contract, we've seen a little bit of a change here from last few weeks. The detached market is up by 20%, while the attached is down by 3.7%. Homes for sale, year over year, 28% down in the detached market and 33.9% in the attached. Need more inventory. Unpacking that a little bit more, looking at new listings for single-family attached, we wrapped up the week of July 29th with 344 new listings, 3-month average of 349, down by 24.7%. Attached, we wrapped up the week with 483, 3-month average of 543, down by 28.5%. Homes under contract in the detached market, we wrapped up the week of July 29th with 222, 3-month average of 194, down by 4.3%. And the attached 290 with a 3-month average of 309, down by 13.4%. Inventory of homes for sale, we wrapped up the week of July 29th with 2,219 single-family detached homes, 3-month average, not far off, 2,216, down by 13.7%. Attached market 3,433, 3-month average of 3,341, down by 31.9%. So, what does all this information mean for you? Heck if I know. It depends on what's happening in your life and your household. Let's start a conversation and see how we can help you make the most informed decisions. If you'd like copies of any of the reports or slides that we shared with you today, feel free to reach out. You can call, text, or email. My contact info is below. And remember, love and money may come and go, but time is something we never get back. But I thank and appreciate you for sharing some of your time with me today. If you want to stay on top of the market with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And think of one person who you believe might benefit from this information, and then be sure to share it with them. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time.